The movie Mia has been staying at Jade's house because her family is the only thing that can give her happiness and hope when she is at her lowest point in life. Mia and Jade spot a party on social media, hosted by teenagers, Haley and Joss. Rumor has it they're dabbling in some creepy, dark stuff with the party guests, but Mia's best friend Jade thinks it's all a fake act. Mia wants to see for herself, so Jade decides to go only because her boyfriend Daniel will be there. Together with her younger brother Riley, all three sneak out and head to the party. They finally make it to the party, and there we meet with Jade's boyfriend, Daniel, who turns out to be Mia's ex-boyfriend. They are still friends even though they were once together. Sometime later, Haley and Joss introduce them to the game that everyone's into. The game is called Talk to Me. The main attraction is an embalmed hand from a medium, and it's got some weird writing on it. The game's pretty straightforward. You hold the embalmed hand, light a candle, and say the words, "Talk to me." That's supposed to summon a demon or spirit, but only the person holding the hand can see it, and immediately, they're possessed by a demon. Mia raises her hand, and Joss tries to pull Mia away from the hand before the 90-second mark. But the demon doesn't want to let the hand off and yells at Riley to run. Eventually, Haley and Joss manage to cut Mia's connection with the spirit. None of them are satisfied, so they all agree to give it another go that very night. Thankfully, Jade is When she looks inside, no one is there. Following the strange occurrence, Mia starts spending more time with her ex-boyfriend Daniel, and it's obvious that Mia still has feelings for Daniel. Mia thinks her mother may be attempting to contact her, despite Daniel telling her that he didn't think Riley's spirit was her mother. That night, as Daniel sleeps over, Mia is awakened by a nightmare, and then suddenly, he sees the spirit of an old woman move towards Daniel and suck on Daniel's foot. Afraid, she desperately yells at him to wake up. But Daniel wakes up to a surprise. It's Mia who's the one sucking on his foot. As a result, Daniel is freaked out and decides to leave the house right away. After he leaves, Mia appears to have taken the hand for herself and sets up a candle to attempt to communicate with her mother's spirit. Her mom, Rhea, finally appears, and Mia can't hold back her burning question any longer. Did her mom's overdose happen by accident, or did she take her own life? Her mom's spirit reassures her that it was truly an accident, and she would never have willingly left Mia. The spirit then shares that Riley is in pain and urgently needs help. They then meet Cole, who blames Joss for always inviting Duckett, his late brother, to play the demonic hand. Cole then goes on to say that the longer the spirits stay in Riley, the weaker they become, so their best option is to wait it out. Mia, worried that time is running out for Riley, comes up with a plan. She plans to make Riley finish the game because she thinks they forgot to blow out the candle during his possession. So, she goes to the hospital in an attempt to get the spirits to repossess Riley and find a way to bring him back, but it doesn't succeed. Mia then decides to enter the spirit world to rescue Riley's soul, which she believes is being held captive by the spirits. Suddenly, in a vision, she encounters the spirit of a little girl and begs the girl to bring her to Riley. The girl then says she lets Mia in and reveals that Riley is being tormented by many other violent spirits in limbo. When she regains consciousness, she tells her friends that the spirits are not going to stop hurting Riley. Once Mia returns home, Max, her father, approaches her and says he wants to reveal the truth about her mother's death. He apologizes for not telling her sooner and shows her Rhea's suicide note, confirming that her death was not an accident, devastated and in tears in the room. Mia sees Rhea's spirit, but then Mia hears her father banging on her door, and the mother claims that Max wrote the note as a lie and says that the spirit is imitating Max, while the father is seen in the adjacent room. Rhea also insists that Riley can only be saved if the boy dies. Here, the spirit who imitates her father Max enters the room and violently attacks her. The actual Max can hear the commotion from the other room and finds that Mia's door is locked, so he breaks down the door to check on her. Just as Mia attempts to stab the spirit attacking her, she ends up accidentally stabbing her real father in the neck with scissors. Later, Mia calls Jade and tells her to come to her house as she knows what to do, but it turns out that she tricks Jade into leaving the hospital while she goes there to see Riley. But then, Jade's mother Sue shows up and apologizes for what she said previously. Sue reassures Mia that she is never to blame for what happened to Riley and allows Mia to be alone with him for a minute. Now almost entirely under the influence of the demonic spirits, Mia becomes convinced that the only way to save Riley is by killing him, believing it will end his suffering. So, she attempts to kill Riley with the same pair of scissors, but she just can't bring herself to go through with it. In the meantime, Jade, who comes to Mia's, can't find her anywhere, but instead, she finds her father in critical condition. Jade quickly calls for an ambulance and alerts her mother, warning her that Mia poses a danger to Riley. Sue then rushes to Riley's hospital room, but her son has gone with Mia. When Jade returns to the hospital, she sees Mia pushing Riley in the wheelchair in the distance and quickly follows her. Mia decides to wheel the boy to the side of a busy highway, intending to end his misery. In her hallucination, she sees him as an old, decaying spirit. Rhea's spirit tries to persuade Mia to push Riley into oncoming traffic by whispering that she is proud of her and that she's doing the right thing. So, she removes her hands from Riley's wheelchair, causing the incoming car to collide with something in the road. We then see Mia lying in the middle of the road, as if she's the one who was hit by a car and badly injured. When she regains consciousness on the street, Mia sees Jade taking care of Riley by the roadside. All of a sudden, she finds herself in the hospital, but everything seems weird and strange. Riley appears to have made a full recovery and is leaving with Jade and Sue. Max also seems to have healed from his injuries, but as Mia tries to follow them, nobody can hear her. Everyone leaves, ignoring her desperate screams for them not to leave her all alone. Then, she finds herself in pitch black emptiness. Out of nowhere, she notices a faint glimmer of light. Curious, she heads towards it and realizes it's a candle, and there's a hand extending from it. She moves to grab the hand, and then this happens. She's transported to a completely different place, at a party, and the guy holding her hand looks at her in shock before muttering, "I let you in." This means that Mia is now a part of the hand game, but now that she's dead, she's the spirit.